Okay, here we go. For our first attempt at a cleft wedge graft. I like to start by removing leaves from the bottom, leaving just a few, then opening up the spot. Opening up the area. Find a nice area that you can fit the graft on, down here or here. For this one, I think I'll use this nice big spot here. So I started earlier by, I like to start by spraying down with alcohol. The reason I like alcohol is that alcohol is a solvent and cleans up the instrument, the tools as we're using it, and it also evaporates quickly as well as kills most of the germs that you're working on. It's important to keep your tools clean. The cleaner they are, the better they cut with, and to try and keep the diseases off that can all affect the success of the graft. So I begin by topping, just taking off the top of the graft. So this one is kind of low, but if it's successful, it'll be good, because just this part will be rootstock and the majority will be the grafted portion. Now, when you're doing cleft grafts, it's important to match up the size of the scion with the rootstock, and it's actually okay if the scion is slightly bigger than the rootstock. And then when you find something that you'd like to work with, you get it ready, and then we're just going to cut a wedge right down the middle. If you look at the mango, it looks round, but it is more oval shape, and I like to cut on the wider portion of the plant. So we're just going to cut down maybe an inch and a half, two. The only way you can get good at grafts is through practice, and the only way you're going to get good with your knife is through practice. So with the grafting knife and the one side being sharp on the bevel edge, it means that you have to cut towards yourself, kind of like peeling fruits. So I like to cut towards. I find if you look at it, it's not really round. It has a kind of a flat side to it, and this side is more of a round side, and this side is more of the flat side. I like to cut from the flat side. Now, like I said, the only way you get good at it is by practicing over and over. So I'm gonna make like an inch and a half inch cut and try to work with that. It's important that your knife is super sharp, so that you don't have to struggle doing the cuts. Just like a surgeon working on people, they're going to use the sharpest instruments available, because the sharper the instrument, the cleaner the cut. The cleaner the cut, the better success that you have in it bonding with itself. So that was one cut, and then I'm going to try. So here you go, the second one. So common when you're cutting, one side comes down, other side not as much. Sometimes if it's not too bad off, if it's not too off, then you can just leave it like that and do it, because the less cutting, you make really is the better. The more, once you start whittling down, I think your chances of success gets less. So then you just slide it into the cut that you made. You know, try to line up one side at least really nice. If you line up one side really nice and that bonds, then the graft will take. For this one, it was a nice matchup. So you can see that both sides. You can see that both sides have a pretty good matchup. This side probably slightly better. Yeah. And this side. But overall, not bad. Probably have a good chance for success. Now, I like to finish up with this. Give yourself, you know, a good 15 inches. Start from the bottom. And right, the good thing about this tape is that it's cheap. You can get it from Home Depot. And it's strong enough that you can put some tension on this graft in the rootstock in order for it to get a better bond. Hopefully giving it a better chance for success. So you wrap it up. Finish off with a half hitch. Keep it tight. I watered it beforehand. Now that the graft is on, I want to not water this too often. I'm going to try and let it go at least 4 or 5 days between watering. And we'll see if we'll check back in about 10 days, see where we are. But then we should get a fairly good guess on whether or not this graft is going to take. So this was the Cleft graft.